Hi, this is L.A. Brunson, Loy Arlen Brunson with BBMG Video News, and we're talking with Kate Genier here about the Constitution. A couple of days ago, I received a return phone call from a U.S. Attorney, District of Utah. He left a message. I wasn't able to pick it up. And he said, yes, treason is against the law in Utah. I'd called earlier and asked, hey, is treason against the law in Utah? Now, in the Constitution, it states that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Our state Supreme Court justices and our U.S. Supreme Court justices take an oath, where our state Supreme Court justices take an oath to obey the state Constitution. And they also take an oath to follow the rules of procedure for state Supreme Court justices. But if they look at those oaths, they'll see that neither of those two state that that's the supreme law of the land. So they have to go back to the Constitution of the United States and see that the Constitution of the United States is the supreme law of the land. And so, in answer to my question about whether treason was still illegal in Utah or not, he said, yes, it's still against the law. Now, in Article 3, Section 3, the supreme law of the land, the Constitution of the United States, defines treason for us. And when I read that, I thought that was very interesting.
It's pretty poignant.
Yeah, it is. It is. So there are two different definitions found in this. And could you go ahead and read the second one?
Okay.
If you can find that.
Yeah. The Congress shall have power to declare punishment of treason.
Okay, that's good right there. So that's another part. The Congress has the power to declare the punishment, which they have done. We're going to get to that in a minute. But if we back up there, the beginning of Section 3 tells us the definition. Go ahead.
Treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them or in adhering...
Or, okay, and I want to stop right there. Or, so we're on a whole new definition of treason. Go ahead.
Or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort.
Okay, so what would be giving aid and comfort to an enemy of the United States?
Oh dear, the Taliban.
I mean, we see it all the time. During the Civil War, a man tore down the American flag, and he was executed. The charge was treason for tearing down an American flag. So, is burning an American flag giving aid and comfort to enemies of the United States?
I would say to a certain degree, yes,
Yeah.
especially with a lot of our enemies who don't understand American values.
Okay, yes, I would say so too. Now, Congress has declared two penalties for treason, and I don't have the document in front of me, but I can tell you the high treason, and I would think that would sort of be those who have taken an oath, maybe high officials, our representatives, our state and federal representatives, the President of the United States, where they've sworn to defend the Constitution. So the penalty for high treason declared by Congress, because they have the power under Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, is death. Yeah. That's pretty serious thing.
Yeah, that's kind of, that stops everything.
Yeah. Now, there's a lower penalty for treason, and that is, there are three parts to it. One is a minimum of 5 years imprisonment, connected with a minimum of a $10,000 fine. Now, we have to think $10,000 back at the time of the Constitution, 10,000 silver dollars.
Huge.
So 10,000 silver dollars minimum fine, plus being barred from public office for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, to be impeached as a representative, it takes 2/3 vote of the House or the Senate to do that. But to bring charges of treason against a representative, it only takes 2 citizens who have witnessed the act. Yeah. And we don't see, and I'm going to investigate this more. We'll show that on another segment. We're going to talk to the State Attorney General about that and the U.S. Attorney about, has anyone been prosecuted for treason and why not? And what is the definition of treason? Yeah. And so that'll be another interesting episode. But I think as people begin to understand that it is a crime and that they have the power to go with a friend to the State Attorney General's office or the U.S. Attorney General's office or the U.S. Attorney's office and actually file a complaint, whether they do anything or not, at least it'll raise public awareness and people will begin to understand that part of the problem in America we have right now is because our laws haven't been enforced. The laws of the Union have not been enforced, including treason. So, but I wanted to go to one more part of the Constitution, and that's the Second Amendment. Most people just refer to the Second Amendment as gun rights. But I have an additional take on that. So could you go ahead and read the Second Amendment? Okay. Great.
A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Okay. The first part of this, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. is it necessary to have a militia to have a free state? According to the Constitution, it is. So if we go to Article 1, Section 8, and we look at what I call the militia clause, we can see what the militia is supposed to do. On page 7, and I'll read it because I don't think I have yours marked. It says that Congress has the power to provide for calling forth the militia to execute the laws of the Union. Well, what are the laws of the Union?
Everything.
The Constitution. Absolutely. The Constitution of the United States is the laws of the Union. And who are the militia supposed to be? Everyone. So Congress has the power to call forth the militia, which is everyone. But let's go on. They have more power than that to just call them forth. If we continue, it says that Congress has the power to provide for organizing, arming, and disciplining the militia. So Congress has the power to discipline, which is education, to teach us the laws of the Union so that we can enforce the laws of the Union. Here's part of the Constitution that actually can provide for educating the people if it's properly done, and that is to educate the people in the Constitution and its true intent so that the laws of the Union can be enforced. If we go back to the Declaration of Independence, the militia is never supposed to be less powerful than the government's army, than the government's military. And if the government's military is more powerful than the militia, which should be all the citizens of the United States. So, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but it's important to know.
Great.
Good. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.